Shout out Hero Dale, get my baby 30,000. Buy for me. Buy for me, yeah. Buy for me. Buy for me, yeah. Buy for me. Buy for me, yeah. Buy for me.
Somebody call for the queen. Duggar.
I never killed anybody, but I got something to do with that. I got the streets on my back, carry it like I'm moving the. I told him the hunter, like he trying to move it up. It was like 11 in the morning, skipping school, that's a truancy about it. I made me some rats in the morning, I had me a pop by the morning, I had me some breaks by the morning, I had a sis by the morning, I got on a meat on the morning, the rats keep me up on the podium, I had a in my shoulder, you got a picture me, you got the picture me, Pacific ice on my ocean, ready for war like I'm Russian, ladies should never the luggage, my diamonds they tussling, my neck and my belly on, they call it for me and they, you want me like me and I look, yeah, her Rex on her, yeah, B-Rex better calm down, yeah, if you go around, come around, yeah, whole squad, yeah, squad goes on the, yeah, make some orange gel on my toes, yeah, Farrakhan glass for the chosen, yeah, you can go and get mad, jumping in the bed with 2 dark teeth, man, who's you, my shawty pulling up with a real bad, you too, dripping my swag, I never killed anybody, but I got something to do with that. I got the streets on my back, carry it like I'm moving the. I told him the hunter, like he trying to.
All right, much appreciated, Coach, as we welcome all of you to our exclusive coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Tonight, it's all on the line. We play for the Lombardi Trophy. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and it is our extreme privilege to be on hand for the Super Bowl. And I can't help but look down on this field, partner, and think about the history of this game and all the great players, all the great teams that have stood on the field for this moment. So special.
This game is so historic that while we call it the Super Bowl now, that wasn't even the name of the first couple. It's the AFL, NFL World Championship game before the Super Bowl really took hold. And think about the Green Bay Packers winning the first 2 that got us kicked off and started towards where we are today.
And with the whole world watching, at the end of this game, at the end of tonight, one of these two sides, they get to etch their name in NFL immortality.
No doubt about it. They hold up the ultimate symbol of victory in this league, the Lombardi Trophy.
No, check, Patriot!
First carry for Nick Chubb, and he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. They go with Chubb on 2nd down. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. And the tackle there by Chris Long. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is, and really a lot of the time they have to throttle back.
Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Malcolm Jenkins. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown. And that last one, that hurts.
Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 on their side of midfield at the 47. The first carry for Josh Adams. And very little running room there. He did get a couple up to the 49.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
I'm bringing it to you.
Boston Scott, his first carry. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
One thing rookies need to learn at this level, and quick, make a cut, be decisive, and go. Because in college, you could dance around and wait for a hole to open because you're probably a better athlete than most of the guys on the field, but not on the NFL level.
Now Wentz on 3rd down. And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack. Boy, he came in off the edge so quickly there.
Look out, because that's exactly what it was being shouted by the offensive lineman to his quarterback because he had no chance to block him.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. That opening drive ended with the INT. It didn't lead to points, but still not the way they were hoping to begin the game.
But how about going and telling your defense, thank you, a huge thank you. You said it didn't lead to points, stalled off that drive. Now they've got a chance to redeem themselves, maybe reward their defense a little bit by putting some points on the board on this one.
They'll try to get forward, but he's going to be stopped in his tracks at about the 3.
Really shouldn't be a surprise. It's going to be hard to move people in this situation. You know they're going to bring the pressure defensively. So I remember playing in these spots, and my coaches always say, don't be afraid to try and create a safety, too. They're going to bring pressure.
And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. Following the penalty, Chubb showed some flash on the run, but he will be brought down shy of his 10. And he's able to get more than half of what they needed. That brings up a 3rd and 5.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
Now the Georgia Southern man, this is Jerick McKinnon, gets this to the 24 for a gain of 4.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24. Back to the ground. This time it's Chubb. He takes it to the 26, just a 1-yard gain.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Throw left side, caught by the tight end Njoku. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
They're indeed going. It's Mayfield. And this is caught. He hits Landry. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. They only needed a few inches, but still some anxious moments there, but they do convert on 4th. This quarterback now, after the pick on the last drive, 3 for 3 to start this drive. It's 1st and 10. Now they return to the ground game. Chubb. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
Watch him now, Barney!
Handoff comes to Chubb. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. Back with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. The Browns with a football to begin quarter number 2. They're on the march, but facing a 3rd down here.
No, check, Patriot!
From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. And this is going to be incomplete.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this 3rd down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
Colquitt on to kick as he sends it away. And he'll back up a few steps as he'll make the fair catch at about the 8-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Eagles will be backed up deep to get the drive started as they take over 1st and 10.
Hey, empty! Liz.
Throwing on first is Wentz. Flushed out right. And his throw's going to be incomplete. He was trying to get it to Zach Ertz that time. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, they're slinging it. And then there's one you got to put a timer on, huh? I mean, that one came in hot.
That came in hot, but overthrown, out of his reach, and incomplete. Wentz again here on 2nd and 10. The connection here with Nelson Aguilar. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
Usually hitting a deep post pattern, as we just saw there for a big gainer, that's tough to do because you usually have a safety or two in the middle of the field. But if you hit enough crossers and underneath routes and curls, you start to get those guys creeping up wanting to make plays on the football. It's the equivalent of a changeup in baseball. They show your other stuff, throw the changeup, and on that play it worked for big yardage.
Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, got to like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
On 2nd down, Adams. And he'll get it down here to the 43. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
A couple of first downs has the football position at the 43 as they come up 1st and 10. Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on 1st down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
On 2nd down now, Adams. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Come on now, let's go. Shorty. Let's play two. Sunday. Trey 15.
From the gun on 3rd down, Wentz eluding the pressure right, and he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down. So now on comes the field goal unit, and wow, this is no ordinary try here. This will be from, they get to the football. It's blocked. Now it's scooped up, and this is a live football.
Those really long field goals, when they are made, they are things of beauty, but there is a danger to getting them started, isn't there?
Yeah, with that low drive, you've got to really keep it low to the ground, don't you, to get that distance.
Yeah, hard to just pop it up in the air, because otherwise it's not going to get there. So he's got to drive it low in order to have the distance, and that usually puts it in jeopardy. Gives him a chance to block it, and everyone knows it on the other side. That's when you get your best jumpers on the other side of the field and try and get up and get it.
It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets him to 2nd and 4.
I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turning around and tossing it to the runner. But where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge, whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end, in the direction they want to run the football? If they do that, that's the result that you get, that type of a game. If they don't, oftentimes it's not a very successful play.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
That goes down as a loss against his rushing stats. But really, should he have to absorb that one? He had no chance on that play before they overwhelmed him.
Pretty much on top of him before he could take his first step. This is caught inside the 15. And they will finally catch him, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Remain in a scoreless first half. We'll come back on Super Bowl Sunday after this. A chance for the first score of this Super Bowl. Here's 1st and goal. They'll run with Chubb. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Give him 2 yards on that one. 2nd and goal now. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after him and put the pressure on him.
They'll give it to him up the middle. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. That one whistled against a big right tackle.
You'd think being able to fire out and block would be a lot easier to not commit a holding penalty. But it's tough to keep those guys right in front, isn't it?
A crucial penalty there as the hold backs him up for another 2nd and goal.
Leopard! All right, now, look at 56.
From the gun, Mayfield. That's complete over the middle to Callaway. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. The catch good for 6 yards, but now it's 3rd and goal. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down. Working out of the gun. Mayfield dancing to his left. And he'll just throw this one over in the way of the security crew. Incomplete here.
Well, that was excellent coverage right there, and he definitely did the right thing, showing that discretion is definitely the better part of valor. Threw it away, preserved the opportunity to kick for a field goal.
And excellent coverage. And right now the human is controlling the defense, so good job, human. So still no touchdowns in the first half, but we do have some action on the scoreboard with the field goal.
So maybe now the mentality changes in this game, because anytime you can get to the red zone, and if you don't come away with 6 points, you feel like it's a disappointment. But in a game like this one, being able to kick field goals means you're right there, and then you're just looking for that big break to take you over the top.
The Eagles offense back out onto the field. On first down, Scott. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level, because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. On second down, here's Wentz. Now the pressure comes, and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Myles Garrett in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10. After the sack, they'll come up now, 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. Escaping the pressure right. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. Give him 9 on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. The Eagles send out their punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. So we've come upon halftime here in Super Bowl 53. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. The halftime show, quite a spectacle, but it's back to football for the second half of Super Bowl 53. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Out come the Eagles now as they'll go on offense first here in the 3rd quarter. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline, because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Flush to his right. And incomplete.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball. Another errant throw as a result.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. Back to the air on second down. Wentz drops it off to Ajayi. And he's going to get forward for about 5, but that may be coming back. What say you, Mr. Referee? So this will be a...
Great. 82.
Wentz to throw on second down. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is now with his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play, but what he does is he takes away having to make those slides.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back, because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
So from their own end zone here, this kicks away. Let's take it inside his own 40. Whoosh. And that negates a pretty decent punt return.
And the goal is to gain a first down on a punt return, which is 10 yards. This was much more than that, but it is going to come back due to the illegal block in the back.
Lucky 56! Lucky 56! Gone! 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 Gone!
A give. This is Chubb. And across the midfield stripe into Eagle territory. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Watch him now, Barney! Barney!
They stay on the ground. This time it's Johnson. And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30. 13 yards to pick up there. Good for a Cleveland first.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. They go play action here on first down. Flushed out right. This is caught. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Now a play fake here on first down. Eluding the pressure right. Now he's going to send this one deep right. Oh, man, it's caught inside the 10. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. They'll try and run. This is Johnson. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
He'll get it up the middle. And he gets him a little bit closer. He takes it from the 6 inside the 5 to the 4. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
3rd and goal, they're going with Chubb. 4 yards, that gets him close to the goal line, but it also brings up a 4th and goal.
Another stop on 3rd down, and this defense still hasn't allowed a touchdown to this point.
Boy, a call like this, certainly tougher to make in a Super Bowl, but they'll go for it on 4th down. Running for it, here's Chubb. And he's in. Touchdown, Browns. With the first touchdown of Super Bowl 53. And the Browns add on to their lead. A good, sustained drive there in this third quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And up past the 35, a very good return, but a penalty down. That may negate all the good work. So that will push him back.
And now we know why I have a little extra space to run, don't we? An illegal block in the back, that penalty will move them back.
Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line.
81, 81. Shorty.
Shotgun now for Wentz. Caught right side, Tate. And he's able to get up here to the 26. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
His second catch in the Super Bowl, and it's good enough for a first down.
Doesn't matter whether it's a zone coverage or man coverage, the drag route can be effective when it's run well.
And he's going to take this one down to about the 46-yard line. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
Ram. Black, come on. Black, come on.
Now Wentz throwing on 2nd down. Escaping the pressure right. Looking for Tate, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 38. Past the 20. Thought they had something going there to break that goose egg here in the second half, but to no avail.
Hope was alive until that interception. What a terrific play, taking the ball away after it looked like they were starting a drive.
And now that shutout still standing. You know that's something those defensive guys hold a lot of pride on, too.
No doubt about it. They are excited about where they are in this game.
Following the interception, Mayfield. Flush to his right. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. So apparently some grabbing there in the middle of the O-line.
I've often wondered why that doesn't happen more often for guys that play center. Having to snap the ball and then trying to get your hands into the proper position, that's difficult to do. He got caught that time.
A run for Nick Chubb. Powers through him. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. 2 yards on the pickup. It'll be 2nd down.
An opportunity to get a drive started here at the end of the third quarter. What you're trying to do is break the game down a little bit. Don't let your guys see too deep into the game, into the future, and say, oh, we got to get here. No, right here, right in front of them, melt the clock down, get to the fourth quarter, try and keep going.
And try to keep that lead.
Exactly.
Back now here on EA Sports. It's the Browns football, and they've got the lead here as we start quarter number 4.
Detroit!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. That'll get a little bit back, give him 5 on the run, and they'll be left with a 3rd and 13. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. They run once more with McCannon. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll bring up 4th down.
This offense really put themselves in a tough spot on 1st and 2nd down, needing long yardage to try and pick up a first down, and they ended up getting a great run. Explosive, picked up nice yardage, You don't expect to be in this situation on 4th down, but guess what? It all started with what happened on 1st and 2nd down. Really put them behind the 8 ball.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. From the left hash, a chip shot here. And his kick is right there. It's good, and that'll push the lead up to 13-0. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but they still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
And an excellent return there as he's up to the 35 and make it the 40-yard line.
There's no downplaying that we all knew that this was a critical possession, and to get a return like that to start things off, that's the spark that they needed. That's the spark they were looking for.
Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. This complete left side to Aguilar. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. At this stage, this drive's got to be touchdown or bust because you need 2 of them.
And if I'm the offensive play caller, I'm not just looking at my dagger plays downfield. I'm looking at some of my specials, something that can fool them and give you a big play now.
With a sense of urgency.
No doubt.
They'll run on 1st down. Adams. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. This linebacking core, they've done a good job of keeping that running game in check, haven't they?
They certainly have, and what they'll also do when this game is over is thank the guys up front, the big defensive line, because they've kept them clean, so to speak, not letting blockers get to them, allowing them to run to the football and keep that running game bottled up.
They'll rifle this one deep right. That's caught inside the 20. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. He got 29 yards that time. From the red zone now, Wentz going for it all. So they took a shot on 1st down but couldn't connect.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10.
Shorty.
To throw is Wentz. And not only did he drop it, he dropped it in the end zone.
Trying to get that one to his tight end, and they've been trying to get the ball to him, but as of yet, unable to successfully complete one. But you know there's usually a nice comfort zone in throwing to the tight end. Great sight lines, usually right in the middle of the field.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10.
Go. Lion. Trey 15.
Now Wentz again. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. So they escape, so to speak, maintaining the football. Defensively, though, opportunity miss.
It definitely was, because that's all defenses talk about. Getting the football and either advancing it the other way or just getting possession and turning it over to their offense. That can be a little bit deflating. You're exactly right. A lost opportunity.
If they're going to have a shot in this Super Bowl, they're going to need this one on 4th down. Now Wentz, got to have this one. This will be caught inside the 10. And they move this all the way down to the 9. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game.
Trey 15.
Working from the gun, Wentz. This is taken in by Jeffrey. He's got it. Touchdown, Eagles. Alshon Jeffrey, a 9-yard touchdown grab. And the Eagles have cut it back within a score. Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. Elliott now to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. He spins free. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. The Browns offense trotting back onto the field. After the touchdown we just saw, we have a brand new ball game. And now look at the situation. You got plenty of time on the clock. Defensively, they have 3 timeouts. So do you run the football here or do you throw it?
I think you have that full conversation with your eye.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And now he's got him in a great spot at the 8-yard line here, 1st and goal.
Well, partner, here's where team football gets tested a little bit because I know the defensive guys were over there chilling on the sidelines, and all of a sudden they heard the sudden change call because that fumble puts them right back on the field, and they've got to go out and finish the game now themselves.
Absolutely. Nursing that slim lead here in the 4th, a costly turnover. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it'll be 2nd and goal. Time for a break. We're back to perhaps crown a champion after this. They'll go again here from the 10-yard line on 2nd and goal. To throw, it's Wentz. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Anthony Barr. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, I don't think we'll have to look very hard to find our play of the game. That was an absolutely monstrous big play right there. Backs to the wall. The offense has it in the red zone, driving for the winning score. And he says, not on my watch. And that is one happy bunch on the sidelines.
And he'll work his way forward up to the 22. And now we're going to get a timeout defensively. So another stop, 1:50 left in the football game. From the 22, here's 2nd and 8. So instead of running, Mayfield's going to throw it here. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And I think the ball's out, but this will fortunately wind up out of bounds.
Now, I have to admit, partner, that I've often thought that I don't like this rule, where the offensive player fumbles the ball, it goes out of bounds, and they get to keep it.
That's just because you're a defensive guy. That's why you don't like it.
Yeah, you're right. It is a slanted view, isn't it?
But this is where, for the offensive team, the sideline is their friend. Usually it's not their friend.
Yeah, exactly right. I actually played for a guy in college. You know what he's named the sideline? Sammy. Sammy sideline, and use him well. Another
nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another 1st down. Well, that looked like an example of what you said back in the first half. A running back of his size can really wear down a defense. I think he's starting to do that.
I think you're exactly right. And know what else he's doing? He's inspiring the rest of his team because they see this starting to happen as well. So that means they're going to redouble their efforts to help him out. Extra blocking, getting downfield, helping him out.
And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Here's McKinnon. And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line. And the Eagles are going to go ahead and take another timeout as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. So 2nd and 9, and you'd have to figure just about all 11 probably crashing the line here. They'll run it now out of the gun. And nowhere really to go there. He'll take this up just shy of midfield. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. The Browns on third down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This is 3rd and 8. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. Now that play was doomed right from the start.
They just about ran into every defender on that one, didn't he? It felt like everyone got a piece of that tackle.
Now a final chance to stop it here as a timeout comes in with 10 seconds left in the game. Here's Britton Colquitt now as he'll punt it away for the second time. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. And it's taken in at the 9. And he is out of bounds, able to get it across the 20-yard line. 12 yards on the return that time. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before we hit triple zeros. Take this for a short gain on what will prove to be the final play of this ball game. And how about this? The dog pound gets the crowd. The Cleveland Browns are the Super Bowl champs. And when this moment comes, I think you look back at all the blood, sweat, and tears, the offseason, the workouts, training camp, week 1, 2, 3, all building up now to say you're a Super Bowl champion. It's worth it.
It certainly is, and rarely do we have a team that hoists the Lombardi Trophy that didn't have their share of bumps along the way, didn't have to face some adversity in the journey, and now they get to just enjoy it and revel in it. And all offseason, they'll be signing their autographs with Super Bowl champion underneath it.
And they are the Super Bowl champs. The Lombardi Trophy is theirs, and so are bragging rights for an entire season. What a season it has been. Feels like we have been there every step of the way. Our entire crew doing a wonderful job. Thanks to my broadcast partner, Charles Davis. For all those guys, I'm Brandon Gaudin signing off. We'll talk to you next season right here on EA Sports.
If the squad ain't with me, then it ain't right. Yeah. Hey. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. Yeah. Hey. Yeah. Yeah. Hey. 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 Same squad, same squad, same squad. Drop top, coupe, Dodge raindrops. Big back plays on FaceTime. Squad ain't with me, then it ain't right. Same squad, same squad, same squad. Drop top, coupe, Dodge raindrops. Big back plays on FaceTime. Squad ain't with me, then it ain't right. Same squad, same squad, same squad. Cross move quick like AI. Chain shine bright like daytime. Stack big bread like waist high. I don't do lanes. Little watch y'all. I done swerved in a new lane. Bang at the crit, do things. I came up, who I was down with. You change up, stay far from around me. I came up, who I was down with. You change up, stay far from around me.